So you have that new Fantastic Four script for me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Great, so one of the main criticisms of the older Fantastic Four movies was that they were kind of silly and campy.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's why this one's not going to be funny at all, or even amusing for that matter.
Great.
Yeah, and it's going to take itself very, very seriously.
That sounds perfect.
Now, I just want to double check with you. You mentioned that your focus groups found that what people want in superhero movies is
A lot of setup and exposition.
as opposed to action and the characters actually using powers.
Exactly, we actually found that people want a lot less of all that cool stuff.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to be sure.
I mean, unless I read the results backwards. I do that sometimes. What?
It's just that doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
Oh my god, did I say doo-doo?
You said doo-doo.
I didn't even realize. I mean, that's why we pay you a bunch of money, right? You're good with the words.
Yeah, I'm good at word stuff.
You are. So tell me about the script.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, it's mostly setup and exposition.
Perfect.
So we start with Reed Richards as a kid.
Oh, going way back. What do we establish there?
Basically that he is smart and has a friend named Ben.
Do we really have to show him as a child to explain that?
Yeah, well, it's an origin story, so we have to have them as kids.
Do we?
Well, they did it in Batman Begins.
Oh, that's a good movie. Okay, I'm sold.
So when he's a kid, he builds stuff in his garage with technology from the time. So like Nintendo 64s, he has this big old clunky computer like people used back then.
So this takes place in the 90s.
2007.
Oh,
So him and his friend Ben work on an interdimensional
iPhones
travel
were out.
machine every day for 7 years.
and you're sure we have to show them as kids? Because that's like a whole set of actors we have to hire.
Origin story, our hands are tied.
Okay.
So anyway, at a high school science fair, they present this device they made that can make objects disappear and reappear.
Wow, people must be amazed.
Literally nobody is, and their teacher fails them.
Why?
He assumes it's magic.
He just fails them without looking into magic further?
Exactly, but a scientist from like a secret organization sees it and he thinks it's cool.
What's a scientist from a secret organization doing at a high school science fair?
We're not gonna really explain that, he's just there.
Fair enough.
So the scientist and his adopted daughter Sue offer Reed a full scholarship to this institute, or maybe it's a school. It's not going to be really clear. Like,
really
Reed's not
wasn't.
going to study.
What about Ben?
What about Ben?
You said he's been working with Reed every day for 7 years on this device. Doesn't he get a scholarship?
No, well, he's the muscle.
Okay, but working on it for so long, he must have a really intimate understanding of how...
He's the muscle.
Right, but he must have a lot of knowledge.
He's got a lot of muscle.
Okay, so he doesn't go.
No,
And then the science guy manipulates his own son Johnny into working at the school too. He manipulates him.
yeah, he takes his car away and he's like, if you want your car back, you need to come do science with Papa.
And what's Johnny's deal? Like, why did they need him at the institute? Is he super smart?
We mentioned that he assembled a car.
Haven't a lot of people done that, like as a hobby?
Probably.
So what makes him so special that he gets to work there?
It's mostly nepotism.
Mostly nepotism. Okay, that's what I thought.
So anyway, then they all work with a cynical guy named Victor Von Doom on a giant version of the interdimensional travel thing.
What's that process like?
It's gonna be like a really, really long montage with some technical jargon thrown in.
How long we talking?
Longer than you'd think, and then suddenly out of nowhere it's done and they send a monkey to an alternate dimension.
And it goes wrong?
Nope, goes perfectly fine first try.
Wow, no conflicts.
No, and so then the government's like, let's contact NASA and get some astronauts.
Makes sense.
It does, but the main characters don't agree with that plan.
Why?
Well, they want to go themselves so they can be famous.
That's their reason?
Yeah, so they get drunk and they go.
They go, the government has a new device to travel through dimensions, and they don't put any extra security?
Apparently not. Reed even calls Ben to tag along.
Oh, Ben, he's still in this movie?
Now he is. We're gonna leave him out of it for like a really long time.
Interesting.
So then they're in this other dimension and they immediately touch some green stuff and everything explodes and Victor falls into it.
Wow.
Yeah, and Johnny's pod fills up with fire so he gets fire powers, and Ben's pod fills up with rocks so he gets rock powers, and then Reed and Sue get other powers.
Their powers aren't related to how the accident
Other
happened?
powers.
No, not really.
Okay, so now everybody has powers.
Yeah, and so this is when stuff's gonna start getting really intense. See,
Wait, gotta stop you. How much time are we at?
like in terms of runtime,
Yeah.
I don't know, like an hour and a half?
And what's this next part of the movie about?
Well, it'd be them adapting to their new powers and all the craziness that goes with that.
Okay, I think we're gonna have to cut that out.
Oh, how come?
I feel like it's going on for too long, and also we don't want to have them use their powers too much.
Right, the focus group.
Exactly. So would it be super complicated to modify your script to kind of just jump to the end?
Actually, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Really?
Yeah, I'll cut out about an hour of stuff and we'll put a title on the screen that says 1 year later.
Great. So how does it end?
Well, they're gonna rebuild the portal thing and bring back Victor.
Oh, he didn't die?
Apparently not, so they bring him to the Institute and he's like, I don't like it here, let me go back.
Oh.
And they say no, so he kills all the people.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's crazy powerful now, like he pops people's heads open and he busts open walls with his mind.
So they let him go back to the other world?
No, they try to stop him because I don't know why they stop him. They try to stop him.
Wow.
Yeah, but he goes back anyway, and by doing so, he creates a black hole.
How does that happen?
I don't know, science. So then the Fantastic Four go to the dimension to fight him.
Why doesn't he just pop their heads like everyone else?
I don't know, he decides to not use those moves on them or something.
That's convenient.
Very convenient. So they take turns punching him, and it doesn't really work.
Oh no.
So they regroup, and they're like, we need to work together now.
Wow.
And so they kind of take turns punching him, and it works now.
And that's it?
Yeah, they punch him into an energy thing, and he like disintegrates, and then that's it.
Wow.
What do you think?
Well, it's a ton of setup paid off by very little action, so according to our focus groups, we got a hit. And what's awesome is that if we really do have a hit, we'll be able to keep these characters out of Marvel's hands for like a really long time.
Fantastic.
From the director of Chronicle, and a fantastic version of this movie you'll probably never see, and the studio that already brought you two ridiculously campy Fantastic Four movies, comes a reboot that's completely different, yet somehow still just as bad. Fan Four Stick. It's been 10 years since the last good Fantastic Four movie. Now, Fox must crank out another one or lose the rights to a studio that would do a much better job. So prepare for the obligatory trotting out of Marvel's first family like you've never seen them before. Moody, awkward, and really, really low energy.
And now I'm here.
So you are.
Meet four people who are never referred to as Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, Invisible Woman, The Human Torch, or the Fantastic Four.
It's fantastic.
Say that again?
There's Reed, the genius who can bend his body into new and exciting ethnicities. Ben, a big-hearted rock monster whose superpower is not having genitals. This underused actress in a terrible wig who's left behind to make the guys' uniforms.
I'm making the environment suits.
And Johnny, a street racing brat cliche with the power to ignite. Internet comment sections for being a black guy. Journey to the Baxter Institute, where kids create billion-dollar inventions powerful enough to destroy the world in exchange for pats on the back.
You all deserve an enormous pat on the back.
And wonder how these child geniuses also manage to be total idiots. As they get drunk, recruit Reed's unqualified childhood friend who gave him a screwdriver one time, teleport to Mordor, take some selfies,
This one is definitely going on Instagram.
and immediately stick their hands in alien goo. Dude, don't touch the goo. It's alien planet rule number 1. Tremble in anticipation for the return of one of Marvel's greatest supervillains, Doctor Doom. Then shake your head in disappointment when you're stuck with this superpowered sex doll instead, complete with vague abilities, vague motivations, and vague Ghostbusters references.
There is no Dana, only Soul. There is no Victor, only Doom.
Who Doctor Dooms the movie just when things start to get interesting to deliver a ridiculous finale where a villain who can literally do anything with just his mind loses to 4 inept teenagers whose best strategy is to punch him in the face.
It's clobbering time!
So get ready for a superhero film that's ashamed to admit it's a superhero film,
They're not powers. They're aggressively abnormal physical conditions that we're gonna...
featuring some of Hollywood's hottest young actors, totally phoning it in.
We're a team now, and there's 4 of us, so we should come up with a name for it.
Clumsy references to the comic books,
Dr. Doom over here.
Hey, clobbering time.
and bizarre shifts in time that seem to mark exactly when the studio took over from the director.
Who is to blame for the overwhelmingly negative reviews for Fantastic Four? Well, director Josh Trank is saying not it. Currently sitting at a 9% with critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
Geez, what a mess. The movie about making this movie would be so much better than this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Starring, were you stretching or were you dragging? A wasted House of Cards actor. A chocolate snowman. Michael B. glad you don't have to do any more of these. Another wasted House of Cards actor. And Crash Test Doomy. Fantastic Four, Strike 3. Man, you know it's bad when Stan Lee won't even make a cameo.
All right, there we have it. So we've changed it up this time. I did pitch meeting first, and then the honest trailer. And
Maybe I'll put my choice a little bit later because I feel like no, I'll put my choice now. Pitch Meeting gets this one. Pitch Meeting gets this one. I feel like they were both, for the most part, tied when it came to footage shown and things of that nature. Obviously, Honest Trailer is just footage throughout because it's just a voiceover, so it makes sense. The Pitch Meeting, I felt like the comedy was, for me, was more relatable because it's just, you got the two guys talking, where the Honest Trailer was going through the movie, and they both do that. But it was kind of bringing out what was obvious about its issues. Pitch Meetings, I felt like made those jokes work for its format. Maybe that's kind of the differences I'm seeing so far. But let me know what you guys think. Which one do you choose for this one? Pitch Meeting or Honest Trailer? Do you think when I choose a certain one or show one first, does that kind of push your decision? I don't know. I'm interested in what you guys think. I thank you guys for all the feedback on the last Versus episode for Honest Trailers versus Pitch Meetings. The winner of that one actually was Pitch Meetings for The Predator. Pitch Meetings came out the winner. I got more votes on that one. So congratulations to Pitch Meetings and Ryan George and Screen Rant on that. But this one, I want to know what you guys think. Who wins? Honest Trailer or Pitch Meetings for Fantastic Four 2015, which again was just a train wreck of a movie, but it's one of those scenarios of like, do you try to do a Snyder Cut version of this, a Trank cut for Fantastic Four? Do we even care? Because I don't think it would be any different. It was a really boring movie. My boys watched it. They actually, it was okay, but I have to actually show them the other two, the older ones, so they can see the difference. I like what they were trying to go for as far as the studio and as far as Josh Trank with this 2015 version, but it just missed the mark completely. So swing and a miss. Overall, though, those are my thoughts. I want to know your thoughts. Put them in the comments below. Who wins, Honest Trailer or Pitch Meeting for Fantastic Four 2015? And then just your thoughts on the Fantastic Four 2015 film. This is the last one we've done for Fantastic Four, so we're done with that. I'm waiting to see what the MCU does once they incorporate them into their movies. So looking forward to what you guys have to say. And that's all I got for you guys today. I will see you guys, as always, on the next one.